Okay, so this is the second in a series of videos that are designed to get us looking at different ways in which we can use Teams to make our lessons a little bit more interactive. Today we're going to be talking about another app which is embedded into Teams called Flipgrid. It's quite good in terms of it's a place basically where you can video share. All of the apps I'm looking at are really, I've been thinking about from a DT perspective, but probably have a little bit more outward reach in terms of they could be used for all sorts of different things. And the more I use them, the more I think about ideas in which they could be used in a whole school. But for me, I'm looking at them from a DT perspective and trying to find apps that get the kids sharing ideas and actually getting them actually working on things that we can't do from a home learning perspective, in terms of working together, interacting, and also making sure they are embedded in teams. So how do we access Flipgrid? In the same way as all the other ones, you just need to go up here, plus. As you can see, this is the icon, but for you it won't be there the first time you click on, but for me it's in here. So if you can't find it, you just have to start typing in Flipgrid, and then it comes up. So I'm going to click on it. What it will then ask you to do is either create yourself an account or log in. Okay, so I've already created an account. It's straightforward. I just use my Microsoft account when I was logging on. Just click on to Educator, and once you've done that, you'll see I've got all sorts of Flipgrid ones. For me, then it's taken me straight into my account, but for you guys, it will ask you to create an account first. Once you've created an account, you'll get this dashboard here that looks a little bit like this. Now, I'm new to this one. I've only been using it for about a week now, just trying to get started. So there's lots more things that you can do. So I'm just going to show you the very basics today, the things I've found when I've been exploring, and hopefully that will start initiating some ways in which we can start using it. So what I've done here, at the bottom, these are all the grids. So they call them Flipgrid, they call these grids. So by clicking on add new grid, you actually create new ones, and these grids are where you create topics, and then you can share these grids with the students, and then they can upload their responses to it. So it's a bit like your classes on Teams. Okay, so here's one I created for my IB students. They haven't responded yet. I'm waiting for their responses so I can mark them in tomorrow's lesson. But so if I click on this one, and it will sort of show you what you can do. So I'm clicking on this one, and inside this, I've got my first topic. So I've created a topic within that grid, and I can add new topics in there. So if you've got a variety of different classes, you can add new topics in. And what I want them to do, and the way I would like them to respond, is they've been doing some initial ideas over the last couple of weeks for me, and I would like to see what those ideas are. So I've been having meetings with them, but they're quite time consuming. I've got 18 in my class, so having 10 minutes team meetings or Zoom meetings with them to discuss their ideas is taking quite a long time. So what I'm going to get them to do is record all of their initial ideas. They're going to talk me through those ideas, and and then they're going to upload them as a video on here. So that's the way I'm going to use it. There are lots of different ways I thought you could use it, in terms of, I don't know, if you wanted them to work together and create a variety of videos. If you were doing a research topic and you wanted them to record a video on what they found out so far, you wanted them to record some reading that they'd done, they could do all sorts of different things. If you wanted to do an ECA and you wanted to record their responses and put them on here, you could do. So let's just click into these so you can see what I'm talking about. So what I've done is I've created a little video explanation of what I want them to do here, and then I've written down some points that I would like them to talk about during their presentations that they're going to do. Now, what I also quite liked about it, this is editable. Obviously, you can write in there. It creates code which then you post. If you click on here, I'll just move my face out of the way a second. You can record. This is how the students record a response. Okay, I haven't experimented with disco libraries, but they sound quite interesting. You can delete the topic if you've done something incorrect. Up here, we can edit it. So I've clicked on the editing tool, and I've just typed in what I'm doing here. This is how I created it. We can create the length of the video that they want, or you would like. So if you just want it to be quite a short video, 15 seconds, you can do that all the way up to sort of 10 minutes, being quite a lengthy video in there. So I've just set mine to 2 minutes, and it will cut off after that. So you do need to make sure you tell the students the length of the video you want. You can moderate these videos, so if you don't want them being posted straight away online, if you're worried about perhaps what the content might be, you can turn on this tab here, and you can moderate these videos. All right, so it will wait for you to actually see them before they will respond online. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is once the student puts a response, those responses are that everyone can see them. So I quite like that in terms of I would like the students to interact and see each other's videos and see what they've been doing as well. So that's quite good for me. So I'm going to update that, and you'll be able to see it here. Now, what I also quite liked within this is I'm able to share this. Now, I can just copy this code and then I can paste it onto my Teams. Or what I also quite liked is because this is directly linked to Teams, I can click on here, and it will let me just post it to my particular wall, or if I wanted to, I could create an assignment from this. So we've all been creating assignments. We've also been creating channels. So we can create an assignment directly from here if we want to, or we can share it to a particular channel. So if I want to share it to a particular channel, I've made a channel for my my Flipgrid. So if I just start typing in a particular channel, let's try and see if I can get there. It's bringing up all my channels here, so the best thing to do actually is just type Flipgrid, and there it is. There's the channel I created for Flipgrid. So I can actually share this link directly through Teams to the Flipgrid, to my actual channel, or create an assignment directly from it, which I thought was quite good. Okay, so just going back here, you can do it as a QR code as well, or just simply copy and paste that. It's up to you. So if I go back to creating this one here, if I go back to my grids, what will happen is once the students have recorded their responses, all of their responses will be in this grid here. By sending that response, obviously nobody's created a so far, but there'll be little thumbnails down the bottom here. And as I said, what I'm looking for is a way of interacting with the students more, a way of collaborating and sharing ideas. So this is quite a quick way in which they can record a video response, and you can see it, then have a look at it, mark it. And what's nice, as I just said, is really that it's actually embedded in Teams. Now, you do need to bear in mind that when you're setting the Teams up, when you're setting up these grids, you will need to enter the email addresses of the students that you want to take part in this particular thing. So it takes a little bit of setting up, but once you've done it, it's there, and I can keep reusing this. I'm planning to use it again for my year 7s, so they're coming to an end of a topic we've been doing with a flat pack furniture project. So once they've got their final models that they've been creating at home, I'm going to get them to do their evaluations in this format. So they're going to talk me through their ideas and evaluate their ideas rather than typing it, and writing it down. I'm going to get them to do it in a video format, and then maybe do some peer assessment as well, so they can actually moderate and have a look at each other's videos. But there's, as I said, there's lots of different ways in which I could see this being used, and just a way of making make it a little bit more interactive and students be able to see each other's work, which I thought was quite nice. Okay, so one thing I realised I forgot to show you, which is probably very important, is how we get the students into these Flipgrids and into these topics. Okay, so basically, once you've created a grid, you need to think about that as a sort of your class, just like you do in Teams. I've created one already here, and I've called it IBDT 2020, which is my class. Okay, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to show you how you actually get the students in. So this is how we decide what name you've got. Normally it will generate a random number, but I've edited this so it's a little bit more prevalent to me. So I've given this IBDT 2020, so it matches up, but you can call whatever this is yourself up to there. Then what you need to do is you can invite them in 3 ways. The easiest way I've found to do it is using this one here, but you can create a student ID list, or you can create a different thing. But this is the best way of doing it, especially for sort of security reasons. Using our school emails, they'll be able to access that. So you click on here, and then what you need to do is you need to add in the URL code. So basically the code of the emails that we're going to be using. So what I've done is I've put the part that comes after the at symbol, so at reptondubai.org there, and I put in reptondubai.net, which is obviously the student-based based codes. Okay, and all you have to do then is update the grid. I'll update it, but you'll do that. And then what we can do, we can actually share this with the other students. Okay, so basically, I would like them to be able to access this now. So I'm going to click share. And the best way of doing it, I found, is you can do it with a URL code, or you can do it directly into Teams. But if you just copy this URL, okay, so click copy, then go back to where you're putting it, and then create a announcement or something on your board. I've already done it here. I'll just undo that so you can see. So I'll edit this one. I can add this in. So it's going to delete this one, and I'm going to paste in my new one. And as you can see, it comes up there automatically. Now, if I send that to the students, like so, they will see it like this. What they then can do is click on that Flipgrid, and then it'll ask them to log on. Okay, so we're using our 365 Microsoft account, so the best thing to do is get them to log on using this one. So click on Microsoft account. They can then log on using their email address. Obviously, I'm going to click on my email address there. They can type in their own, and then it will normally ask you to type in a password there. As you can see, it just logged me in because it remembers me. And then now in here, I have all the topics that I've done. I've got here. Okay, so the first one here that you've seen before is the initial ideas so far. So this is the bit I recorded earlier, and the description, a bit like you would write an assignment on Teams. All you have to do is then click this plus button, and then it will bring up a box in front of you, and you have to put in their permission to use your camera and your microphone. That's as you would normally do with lots of different things. And then it will then record the 2-minute video for the students. They will all be saved to the topic that you've then got, so they'll all be saved in one area. Okay, so that's basically how you set up a Flipgrid and invite the students in. There probably are other ways, but this is the simplest and easiest way that I've found how to do it. I hope you found this video useful, and if you learn anything more by playing around, let me know, and I'd look forward to seeing what else this can do. There are lots more, and I'll keep having a look.